Okay guys, welcome back to another video of joining me in my life here in Moscow, Russia as an Englishman. And today I want to show you the hugely popular car sharing in Moscow. What I'm about to do now is take a car from a suburb just on the outside of Moscow, bang into the center, right into a red square. I want to show you how much it costs, what the cars are like, and what the process is of doing this. So I hope it'll be interesting for some of you guys. And so without further ado, let's go and show you what car sharing is like in Moscow, Russia 2024. Okay, so you see there's a car 3 minutes away. So I've selected that one. So Geely or Geely Cool is the registration and how many kilometers it can do with the fuel that's inside. So there we have a picture of the car, so we understand what it looks like. We can find it easily. Looks quite smart. And then the tariff is 12.18 rubles per minute. It tells you in the car there's Bluetooth. There's a manual on how to operate if you need it. Hopefully you know how to drive anyway. So let's go and have a look at the car. And then you see there's two options here. The first one here, this is a horn. So if you can't find the car, if you're close, press that button and the horn will go off. And the other one is you can turn the motor on so that the car starts getting warm. So like now in spring where it's not very warm, it will heat the car up for you. So when you get in, it's already nice and cozy. Okay, so the map has brought us to the car. Next thing to do is just to check it. Obviously it's first week of spring, everything is melting, it's not particularly clean, but the car looks alright. So you see, not a bad looking car. It's fairly modern. In the glove box, yeah, we've got the manual. Car, the Cool Ray, yeah, and that's its official documents. If the police do stop you, you show that plus your driving license and you're good to go. It's got a nice camera built in there. There's the back seats. Sunroof. So we get going. So it's a pretty nice car. It's got sports mode, it's got heated seats, air conditioning. And what we're going to do now, we're going to take this from kind of a suburb on the outskirts of Moscow to the absolute center, to Red Square, Krasny Plощad. So the absolute center of Moscow, that's where the Kremlin is, Red Square. So we'll see how much it costs for us to get there. And with all these cars, it's just obviously a bit of luck what condition they're in inside. They're all fairly new, but obviously some can be more clean than others depending on the last people that are in these. They often get cleaned inside and out, particularly overnight. But yeah, there is a bit of luck involved. I would say 9 times out of 10 there's no rubbish in them, and 1 time out of 10 you'll find maybe some, disregarded old kind of food package, maybe something like that. But generally they are left clean. Just generally here in Russia, people tend to respect things like this. Things don't get vandalized or anything like that. I've never seen one of these like properly vandalized, just only perhaps a bit of rubbish. And as I say, to be fair, this is the start of spring when all the snow is melting and things are generally kind of muddy and dirty, so you're bound to get a bit of kind of muddy boot prints and things inside the car. But and yeah, you have a choice of cars that you can take from kind of the most, just like taxis really, from the most sort of standard up to BMW S-Series, S-Class, so whatever you want. This is kind of, I would say, equivalent to Uber. They call it, I think, Comfort Plus, so it's a good quality machine. So yeah, we'll see how much it costs for this ride. So we've got 19 kilometers, which is saying will take exactly 30 minutes. I'll let you know at the end how long the distance was and the time exactly. But that's what we're going to be looking at, a price in the center of Moscow for approximately 19 kilometers, a 30-minute drive. So you can see here, this vehicle has done 38,359 kilometers. So not too many, it's a fairly new car. As of 2020, Moscow gained the largest car sharing fleet in the world. It had 30,000 cars at that time, more than megacities such as Shanghai in China and Tokyo in Japan. More than 200,000 people use these cars every day in Moscow. Now there are 6 main companies that do these car hiring in Moscow. There are some smaller ones, but 6 big ones. So a lot of people tend to have 2 or 3 of the apps on their phone from the big companies. Therefore you've got a very good chance of finding a car close by and quickly flick between the few apps. Find the closest car and select the one you want. For the most standard cars, they start at 5 rubles per minute. And if you go up to a very high-end car like a Mercedes S-Class, it can be up to 20 rubles per minute. As of 2024, there are 0.6 million individual car sharing used accounts in Moscow. So just over 500,000 people actively are using car sharing here in Moscow. It's one of many popular shopping centers, shopping malls here in Russia. And behind it, when this lorry passes, you will see quite an impressive block of flats there. Looks almost like a castle. It's an expensive one. And almost immediately you see the next big shopping center. Shopping malls here, very popular, very busy. Starting to see Moscow City, as it's called, where all the skyscrapers are. So obviously this is the city of Moscow, but the area where the skyscrapers are built is called Moscow City. And just before that, on the right hand side here, is Park Pobedi, which translates to Victory Park. Popular park here, nice areas for walking in, big fountains. I like coming here in the summer when the weather's good. You can see the golden dome of a church there in the park. These are nice new flats they've built. Luxury flats that get to look into the park. Prospect here, quite a famous road coming into Moscow, and as you'll see, Father Christmas and Ded Moroz and Snegurka are still here. They still haven't taken down the New Year Christmas decorations. Soon they will, but they leave them up a long time. Now you see Moscow City. Contrast here of the old buildings along here. It's nice architecture. So you see there's a darker lane in the middle here between the 2 lanes of traffic going one way and the other. There's many lanes, there's like 6 lanes on each side, but this darker lane here in the middle is only for police. To show you Moscow City there. This darker lane in the middle here between the traffic going in one direction and the other is reserved only for police or fire engine or ambulance. So no matter how much traffic there is in these, I think it's 6 lanes each side, there's always a free middle lane for emergency services, which I think is a great idea. And you get to see what kind of cars there are here in Moscow, and I think, you know, they'll be very familiar to a lot of you. BMW here, another one up ahead. There are kind of a lot more Chinese cars than you would see, for example, in England. Generally speaking, there's a Porsche, BMW, Honda, Toyota, Volkswagen, so it's really cars that you'll be used to seeing. So you saw there a policeman using that middle lane. Here's the beautiful Radisson Hotel. What a beautiful hotel this one is. And you can't see it, but we're about to go over the bridge, and the Radisson own a fleet of boats on that bridge. And there's the famous Russian White House. It's not actually where Putin works from. It's the White House. So there you can see the Moscow River on the bridge. That's actually the British Embassy there, the green roof there. And now we come on to New Arbat, which is one of the famous two streets. There's Old Arbat and New Arbat here. Old Arbat is a very famous pedestrian-only street, and New Arbat has many kind of popular trendy cafes and restaurants. It used to be where all the casinos were before gambling was no longer allowed in just about everywhere in Russia. There's a few places you still can. Sochi's one of the few places, but generally it's outlawed in Russia. So those casinos were turned into just hotels, apartments, and yeah, shops and restaurants. Perhaps generally speaking, people often remark that the cars are of better quality than people are expecting to see in Russia. Of course you can get all types, but good and bad, but as you see, generally here there's plenty of nice cars and the brands we're familiar with. So I would call this now New Arbat, the start of getting to sort of very central areas of Moscow. A Lottie Hotel there. Popular, and this is what used to be all the casinos. You see all the shops. At night all these buildings are lit up. They don't look so beautiful in the day, but at night time with the lights they look pretty good. Make out some brands you're familiar with. You see there the old mixed with the new, more churches. Theatre in there. So we've just come from Old New Arbat, and there is the entrance to Old Arbat, the pedestrian only street. There's really nice buildings everywhere around here. We just take a look at the map here. We've got 8 more minutes to go, 3.2 kilometers more. Very nice architecture on these buildings. And I think in the distance there you can see that red tower with the star on top. Well, that's one corner of the Kremlin. So you see that very central at this point. Bentley here. So there, there is the Kremlin. I'll show you. Quite an impressive statue there. In the distance you can see that high building, that's the Swiss Hotel. It's a brand of hotels around the world. And at the top there, a very nice cocktail bar with views across all of Moscow. Building here is the library, the biggest library in Russia. It's a beautiful building both inside and out. Looks best from the front. We're going across the side of it here, but you get an idea. Of course now there's plenty of traffic as we touch the centre. The Kremlin again, another view of it. You see all these nice buildings, right? And again, the Kremlin goes on. And right there is the Four Seasons Hotel where Tucker Carlson just stayed. I'm sure he had a very nice time. It's a beautiful hotel in there. Here is the National Hotel. This is a government building, government office. So this is now going along the side of the Four Seasons Hotel. It's a hotel, but at the very top there are privately owned apartments. Nice buildings all around here. Hyatt Hotel up in front, and then you got the beautiful Bolshoi Theatre, Russia's most famous theatre, right here on our left, and next to it there, having some work done on it, is GUM, which is the most luxury department store, and then the beautiful Metropole Hotel. Many books and stories have been written about this hotel. You see they've got a Rolex there on the side of it, a restaurant of the Metropole. Dolce & Gabbana shop, Ralph Lauren. And that there is a huge children's shop, Детский Mir World. We have a Bentley. So pretty incredibly with these cars, you're allowed to park like here, right central, super easy place. So we'll get out and we'll see how much this journey cost us. Okay, so our total journey cost was 440 rubles and 23 pence. And we did actually make one quick stop on the way here, so it could have been less, but there's our car parked up. That's surroundings. Yep, and a good place to park, right in front of Bentley, I think. So may as well keep you with us while we walk a little bit. You can see here's our car. There's another car sharing one there. So you see there's always plenty of options for people. And so much for all the brands leaving Russia, hey? It's not true, people. It's beautiful Ralph Lauren. There's the Dolce & Gabbana. Baccarat. Lalique. Tom Ford. Zilly. So as you see, all these brands are still here. that easy to hire a car, get here into the center of Moscow. And it's looking nice as always. Show card there. So as we come out of there, you see there Rado watches, and we head on down this pedestrian only street, and at the end is a red square. Can't quite see it from here. About a 5-minute walk and we're at Red Square. This is a very nice project they're building here, and right in the center of luxury flats. You can see how that's going to be Moscow's most desirable neighborhood, it says there. They tend to always put things in Russian when it's to do with luxury. But yeah, they're busy building this. A new history for the old city. Just construction never stops here. This is how it really is, guys. This is what they're doing. So you see now, we're just a few more minutes down this pedestrian street. Now you can see there, that tower and the red wall is one side of the Kremlin. Just this side of that is Red Square.